What's for iftar? This question is probably making you lose your mind by now. On today's episode of The Healthy Muslims, I'm going to show you how to make not only a show-stopping meal, but also a healthy one. This is za'atar roasted chicken and vegetables. First, we'll start with marinating our whole chicken. So for the marinade, we will be starting off with some plain yogurt. Next up is our main seasoning. So this is our za'atar mix. You can get this from a lot of Middle Eastern stores. We're going to add in a little bit of olive oil, some salt, and if you want a little bit of a spice, you can add in some red chili powder or skip this altogether. And then some lemon juice to balance all the flavors. Give it all a mix. And one of the biggest misconceptions about eating healthy is that it's not going to taste good. But as long as you give it the right time, remember, spices, seasonings, these are all things that give great flavor and actually have a lot of nutritional benefit as well. So we're going to give this a good mix. And we're using a whole chicken today. We are leaving the skin on. Given you are fasting the whole day, the extra fat from the skin is completely okay. So give this all a mix. And once it looks like that, we're going to go in and add in our whole chicken. So like I said, we're keeping the skin on. And then we're just going to go in with our hands and give it a good marinade. I find using a whole chicken really gives that wow effect, especially if you're hosting or just for a family iftar. Alternatively, you can use different parts of chicken. So you can use chicken legs, you can use boneless meat as well. But I find the whole chicken is just really that wow factor. If you're hosting more people, I would say around 20, you can easily do 2 whole chickens. This is one of those things you can prep ahead of time. So, marinate the day before and it should be ready to go for the next day. You just need to pop it in the oven. So once we got a good marinade, you can even detach some of the skin and get that marinade inside as well. There you go. I got some marinade inside the skin. And that's great. And that's it. And so if you're not going to cook it right away, you can just cover it and refrigerate it. But we are, so I'm just going to place it onto our tray. Just like that. And next up, we're going to do our veggies. Now, you may be thinking there's no space for veggies during Ramadan, but I am going to change that for you. So as you can see, we have a good variety of veggies. But once again, the most important part is the marinade. So in a big bowl, we're going to start with some olive oil. And then that same seasoning again. So we're going to use our za'atar mix. And then I am going to add in a little bit of salt. And then once again, the red chili powder is optional if you want a little bit of a kick. So give that a good mix. And this is going to act as the marinade for our roasted veggies. And then we're also going to be adding in half of a lemon. You'll notice it's very simple ingredients. I almost feel bad because I'm not working that hard to put together an iftar that actually wows everyone. So give that a good mix. Perfect. All right, let's chop up all of our veggies now. So with broccoli, I usually just cut off the end stem, but the rest is all good to eat. And you want to try and have similar sized vegetables. And I find that really bakes well together and also looks nice as well. Now, one thing that no one likes to talk about in Ramadan is those digestive concerns. And let me tell you, they should not be normal, but they are. And one way to combat that is getting in your veggies. Okay, so we're going to go in. And the great thing about this recipe is you can really change it up with whatever veggies you have at home. You can use cauliflower, eggplant, really change it up. The great thing about this recipe is that it is a full meal all in one pan. So you're getting your veggies, you're getting in your carbs, and you're getting in your protein. I often have people ask me which vitamins they should be buying, which supplements. And I always say, if you have an extra $50 to spare, spend it on different colored vegetables and actually eat it. Don't just have it go bad. And what that does is different colored vegetables and fruit have different nutrients. So you're very likely to get a good variety if you just eat the variety of colors. And I usually like to just, rather than, have a list that I need to get a specific variety of vegetables, I go based on season and I go based on what's on sale as well. Next up is a red onion. I find red onion has a little bit of a sweeter taste. It makes it taste a little bit more sophisticated. I really like how it caramelizes in the oven with the rest of the veggies. So I like to choose that, but you can totally do a white onion as well. And we don't need to cut this too small. Just quarter it up. And we'll add in some mushrooms as well. So my key is I just try to use 3 different veggies in this, and I find it's a good variety. So 3 veggies plus your onions, garlic, and potatoes, and it gives a really nice variety. Anytime I'm invited to my in-laws' house and I'm responsible for iftar, this is usually what I'm taking. So a quick hack for easy cleanup is I'll just use a foil tray, bake it, and that way I don't have to worry about bringing the tray back as well. Okay, and with the mushrooms, we want to keep it around the same size, so we're just going to go ahead and quarter them. Okay, add this to our bowl. Next up are our potatoes. And although potatoes are a vegetable, our body actually processes them as carbs. So this is where I actually won't serve any rice, any bread. It'll be a full meal on its own. Mind you, my family is used to eating just one type of carb. So if there's potatoes, they're totally okay with rice or bread. But if you're hosting, you can absolutely serve it with some extra rice on the table. And if you're able to find mini potatoes, even smaller than this, you can just skip the cutting process. And you might notice I kept the skin on. The skin of the potatoes does add a little bit of extra fiber as well. And I actually really like the texture once it bakes together. Often when I ask clients what their favorite vegetable is, they often say potatoes. And I usually say that's a carb. And so that's usually a big surprise for many people. So potatoes, sweet potatoes, corn, and another surprise is green peas. These are all carbs. And essentially 1 cup of that is the same as eating 1 cup of rice. So doesn't mean we have to fear potatoes, but we just have to be mindful of how we consume them. So we're just going to go in and add all of this here. And our last ingredient is the garlic. And garlic has a lot of antioxidants, lots of health benefits. But more than that, it's going to provide a lot of flavor as well. So I just go in and add all of the cloves of 1 garlic. The longest process is probably just getting all of the peels off. And this is a great recipe to get your kids involved as well. So with a smaller knife, you just want to go in and peel all of your garlic. And so once again, you can see the onions, the garlic, the spices, these are all going to give really great flavor to your vegetables. And you're going to have non-veggie eaters eating a lot healthier too once you season it right. And that's what eating healthy is all about. It's really about just bringing together the right flavors so that it's enjoyable, right? The second someone thinks about healthy eating, they think about, bland, boring broccoli. You can see we use broccoli today, but let me tell you, there's a lot more people that are going to be eating this broccoli in Ramadan versus just, steamed, boring broccoli. All right, we're going to add our garlic into our bowl. And now we have this massive bowl of veggies. We're going to give it a mix. I am going to go in with my hands. And this is honestly probably the longest part, is just making sure everything is coated. So we got our chicken that's already marinated with the Za'atar seasoning, and then our veggies are going to have that same flavor profile as well. And I find this is such a winner for all ages. I have my kids loving this recipe. We have grandparents loving this recipe. It's really one of those showstopper recipes. So give it a good, you want to make sure you're starting to see like the specks of all of the seasoning coating your veggies. All right, so we have our marinated chicken, we have our marinated veggies. Now we just got to bring it all together and just want to pile it onto your baking tray. So you can use a roasting pan, a big cookie sheet, really whatever you have. If your pan isn't big enough, what I sometimes will do is I'll do one tray with the chicken and some of the veggies, and then I'll use another tray for the remainder of the veggies. So if you have, make sure you're using all of the veggies that you marinated. This is quite big of a tray, so we're getting everything on one tray. I have a little bit of the marinade. All right, there you have it. We have all of our veggies, our chicken ready to go, one pan meal. And we're just going to pop this into the oven for about 45 minutes to an hour until it's fully cooked through. So we've been baking for about an hour at 375 Fahrenheit. Let's see what it looks like. Would you look at that? A perfectly made one-pan meal ready for iftar. Imagine wowing your guests with this. To get the full recipe, check it out in the description, and we'll catch you on the next episode.